story of Ludwig van Beethoven, The Value of Giving. Long ago, the Beethoven's family lived in Germany. This family liked to sing and play instruments. So when Beethoven had a son, they wanted him to be a musician too. Ludwig's grandfather used to take him for a walk. One day he went into a church and sat down and waited. Suddenly, this church was filled a wondrous sound. "What is this?" whispered Ludwig. "The organ," his grandfather answered. Then a rich voice rang out. "And that is your father," said grandfather. He could be a great musician if he didn't drink so much. One day, Ludwig saw a peculiar instrument in their cried Ludwig. When Ludwig realized his father was behind him, he was startled. "I'm sorry, Dad," he said. "When I touched the keys and beautiful sound come out, I couldn't stop." For the first time, his father didn't shout, "That is a clavier. I will teach you to play it," he said. But really he was thinking of a young musician named Mozart. Mozart is a child prodigy and made a lot of money. I will make sure Ludwig that become a prodigy too, he thought. At about 10, he started composing his own music. In 1782, when Ludwig 12, some of its compositions were published. As a teenager, Ludwig began to play clavier in court orchestra. There is still so much I don't know, he thought. I want to go to Vienna and study with the great master. Most of all, Ludwig wanted to meet the great composer Mozart. Ludwig get to perform for Mozart, who was amazed at his talents. In Vienna, Ludwig had a wonderful time talking to talented people and attend concerts. He even met an important man, the Count von Wettstein. One day, the court visited Ludwig. He found Ludwig living in a shabby house and his room was dark. The sheet of music all over the floor, an old piano in the corner. It was terrible. The sailor called to himself. He shouldn't have to use such an old instrument. A few days later, a new piano was delivered. Ludwig was shocked. "I didn't order a piano. I have no money to pay for one." The delivery man explained it is a gift from the court. People come from far or near to hear Ludwig play. Bravo, they shot encore. But then something very sad happened. That that is that was
That might
that might maybe
that might be my
that
that might be my imagination.
that might be my imagination. Louis thought, but I don't seem to hear as well as I used to. It, it,
Finally,
finally at 28, Ludwig went totally deaf. Ludwig became terribly depressed. Then one day he realized he could hear music inside his head. He wrote it down as fast as he thought. Some people said the music he wrote after going deaf is the most beautiful music ever written. Ludwig also wanted conduce his ninth symphony. When he stood up in front of the orchestra, the musicians are extremely nervous. Their eyes were on him when they began to play. This music was so clear in Ludwig's mind that he con- conduced beautifully. When it was over, Ludwig still stand facing the orchestra. Then a musician turned it around to face the audience. Everyone was standing and clapping. Some cheered and other wept with delight. Smiling, he said, I wrote not for you, but for those who shall come after. In 1827, Ludwig died, but he shared a gift with the world, his glorious music.
How?